um, based on our values, we start thinking about, okay, what do we want society to look like, and how do we get there to create a society that's closer to our values than what currently exists. I mentioned that today's government is much more oligarchic. It's a small group of elected officials making decisions for us instead of with us, right? That they kind of impose their will on us. We're not really included in decision making. We get to elect people sort of every 4 years. And I say sort of because often we don't have a choice unless there's a Green Party candidate running, for example. And even then, the parties try to suppress us and make sure that um, voices outside of their own corporate platform are not heard, right? So we're trying to break through that in various ways. But in any case, we try to envision what sort of society we want and where we want to go. And one of the signature platform policies that came out of the Green Party is the Green New Deal. The Green New Deal has kind of an interesting history, and especially in recent times, it's been largely attributed to the so-called progressive members of the Democratic Party, in particular, like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. But that's really glossing over the much longer history of the Green New Deal, which didn't really originate from the Democratic Party. It actually, obviously, New Deal type programs have been discussed for decades, but this form of the Green New Deal really came out of studies that started with the Green Party in England around 2007 or so. That was kind of sponsored by the Global Greens, the Global Green Party movement, essentially. And they developed an original plan for transitioning the economy to renewable energy. And when that caught on, it moved to the U.S. and a lot of Greens in the U.S. adopted it, including, and I suppose in particular, Howie Hawkins when he ran for governor in 2010. And it turned out to be such an interesting and popular policy that the Green Party of the U.S. Essentially expanded on the original idea, added in ideas, and it's been U.S. Green Party policy for the last decade or so. So the Green New Deal was born here, and it's something that we still fight for. The Democratic Party has given up on it. You don't even hear much about it from AOC. But the Green Party created it, and we're still fighting for it. It's our signature platform. So the Green New Deal, in the Green Party vision of it, which is also very different from what AOC, for example, is talking about, it includes an economic bill of rights, which makes sure that everyone has a right to, all your basic needs: housing, healthcare, medicine, making sure that you have a good job, with the form of universal income, to make sure that we're taking care of people in a just way, making a just transition away from fossil fuels. And that leads to the Green Economy Reconstruction Program, which is actually doing that transition. It's actually replacing all of our fossil fuel infrastructure with renewable energy infrastructure and a generally green economy, that we transition all of our industry to doing things in a much more sustainable, renewable sort of way. And there's a lot of detail to this, obviously, that I can't get to tonight. So I'd encourage you to look at the link down there, the howiehawkins.us/eco-socialist Green New Deal, to get a lot more details about exactly what this entails. But it means a lot of infrastructure upgrades. It means transitioning away from fossil fuels, and that means, installing more heat pumps and insulation and things, and doing more energy efficiency and just all kinds of stuff. And as we're doing that, making sure we have a just transition, and we're taking care of everybody, all of the workers that are impacted, all of the families that are impacted, and making sure that everyone, no one is left behind, which is a thing that sadly happens a lot, especially from, ironically, the fossil fuel industry. The U.S. history, especially through the Rust Belt, has always been that, people get jobs in the coal industry or something, and then the coal industry leaves, and that town now has nothing. The people don't have jobs, they don't have money, so they get rightfully worried about, am I going to be left behind in the transition? So an important part of this is making sure that no one is left behind.